Years ago, I work in a motherless babies home. We were the one who pick abandoned babies from the streets of Lagos, and we pick them from the hospital as well, and sometimes even from the gutters. So our job is to bathe them, feed them, love them like ours, until a family came to adopt them. That is what we have been doing. I love to do it because I love children. So the matron who run the home, Mrs. Ogusoya, was more than a boss to me because she was the closest thing I had to a mother because I grew up as an orphan myself. I think that is what actually made me to develop such interest. Then one year, a young man came to serve in our area during his NYSC. He actually volunteered at the home sometimes, especially on weekend, helping us carry supplies and play with the children. That was how we met. We fell in love faster than I expected because he was handsome, caring, and different from others. But life has a way of teaching a painful lesson quickly. A few weeks before the end of his service year, I discovered I was pregnant. So when I told him, he denied the pregnancy. I was devastated. I was sad and speechless at the same time. Not only that, he left the town quietly without telling me where he was going. I don't know his house. I don't know his history. I don't know his parents. I don't know where he lives. Just like that, he disappeared from my life. I cried for weeks because what I've been avoiding actually happened to me. But what would I do? Nothing. So I kept the pregnancy. When my daughter was born, the matron allowed me to raise her inside the home alongside the other children. Officially, nobody knew she was mine because we were training her along the other children. She grew up calling every caregiver mama, including me, because that was what others call all the caregiver. Mama, mommy, mama, mommy. So only the matron knew the truth. Years later, a wealthy philanthropist named Mr. Martin returned to Nigeria. He had supported the home long before I even started working there. The first day he saw me, everybody knows his attention never left my face because I was very beautiful and attractive with my skin color, even my face. Soon after, he went straight to the matron and told her he wanted to get to know me. At first, I refused because my past I had already broken my heart once. My past experience wouldn't want me to quickly say yes. But the matron convinced me to give him a chance. So I did. And I fell in love. So one evening, while we were talking, Martin said something that froze my blood. And I was so scared. He said no matter what, he could never marry a single mother. I don't know why young guys avoid getting themselves involved in a single mother. I think it's a disease. Because according to him, he said single mothers always keep secret relationship with the father of their children. I mean their ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or whosoever that put them in that position. I can never live with that kind of distrust. That was what he said. So that day, I went back to the matron that night and I told her everything because she was everything to me. No mother, no father except her. She looked at me for a long moment and then said gently, then we will keep your child a secret. My heart raised at first because I never expect that feedback. She said she will stay here in the home with her and I can support her with anything I have financially and nobody has to know she is mine. Then I agreed with her decision. Martins and I eventually got married. Then for 5 years, we tried to have a child, but nothing happened. After several hospital visits abroad, and doctor actually discovered that Martins had a low sperm count. It wasn't funny at all. In one corner, I was happy that I had a child. One evening, he held my hand and said something that changed everything. He said, why don't we adopt a child from the motherless home where I work? And then my heart was like, oh, I started thinking twice. Okay, let's see. So we discussed this with the matron. And the matron told me secretly, and she made a shocking suggestion. Why don't you adopt your own daughter? That way you won't have to start raising a baby from the scratch. Martin loved the idea immediately, but Martin did not know that the girl was mine. And that was how my husband unknowingly adopted my own daughter. For years, we raised her together. Martin loved her deeply, loved her specially. In fact, loved her more than I do. And every time he called her my princess, my princess. And when he call her that, my heart broke a little because I was scared too at the same time because he didn't know the truth. But the secrets have a way of finding light. No matter what, nothing can be hidden forever. One afternoon, everything collapsed. One of our former staffs who know my history, who dislike me, and heard about how I've been living a flamboyant life, a good life, a loving life with Martins. And I heard she already know Martins before I joined the company. In fact, looking for a way to seduce him, but that will never give her attention. There was a particular time that they even exchange number, they talk as friends, but this, our former staff, was expecting something more than friend. So when she heard I was the one enjoying the illusory life that she dreamt to enjoy, he walked straight up to Martins and said something that changed my life forever, my history, the home I've been protecting. She told Martins, ask your wife who child you really adopted. That night, I was mad when Martins questioned me. I denied it. I said it was from the home. Even if I deceive you, will Matron deceive you? I don't know what happened. I don't know how Martins was able to know with the result in his hand, which proves I was actually the mother of the baby. His face looked like a man whose entire world has just been shattered. When he was saying he doesn't want a single mother, I thought he was joking, but he was more disappointed that I kept it as a secret. So he threw the document on the table and stared at me. Tell me the truth, he said. My legs went weak, like I was shaking. And for the first time since our marriage, I confessed everything because I felt anything that want to happen should happen. I don't want to keep lying. Martin stepped back like I had just stabbed him with a knife. He shouted, you lied to me for years. I trusted you with my life. Then he said the one thing I never imagined hearing. I never expected, despite my confession. Martin told me boldly to my face, I'm filing for divorce. He reached that level. I don't know say he go reach that level. Now he refuses to speak to me. My friend and family have tried to talk to him, who is the matron and the other staff there. But he keeps saying the same thing. I can forgive anything, but not betrayal. Now I am losing my husband and the father my daughter has known all her life. If she has remained in the home, motherless home, maybe she wouldn't be traumatized for just a father walking out of her life. So please tell me, was I wrong to hide the truth just to keep my family? What should I do now before I lose everything? Please discuss this with me in the comment section. And I will post the part 2, which is coming soon. Thank you and see you in the part 2 of the story.